is advised.
Just in time for the sunrise here on the Sunrise Safari on Safari Live. And you are with me right here on Pridelands Conservancy, just outside the town of Hoedspruit. And it is an extremely cold morning this morning, one of the coldest I've had in a very, very long time. We are shivering. My name is Chris, and with me on Camops is BK Uhuru. And we're waiting for that sun to warm us up. Not just yet, because this time, as the sun rises, it's usually the coldest part of the morning. Unusually cold this morning, no cold front. We had warm weather yesterday. We're going to probably have some warmish weather today. But yet, the morning is one of the coldest I've had in a very, very long time. Maybe that is the change that we've needed in order to find some cats. And we did hear a lion's roar, but very, very far from us, northeast of us. And that's going to be our plan. As soon as we are leaving this sunrise, that is what we're going to do. All right, so as we go along, remember, please send us questions and comments. This is an interactive experience, and it's also live. So what you see is in real time. So if you're watching on the app, the WildEarth app or website, you can register to send us questions and comments, or if you just want to have a chat, even if you would like us to find something specific, send us a comment. Joining us in our other locations would be Cedric on Rusty, the new guy Tristan will be on Wendy, and then James will be in Madikwe. And that is a sight for sore eyes. Sunshine. I need that at the moment. It is indeed a very cold morning. All right, what is our rough plan? Like I said, we're going to head straight to the northern boundary. We're going to check the entire northern boundary for any incoming tracks and plan from there. So I'm going to phase the plan. We're first going to do a reconnaissance to see if there's any form of tracks. Once we've got the tracks, track, locate and find. Well, I can see that it is going to be a cold morning. Initially warming up a little bit. I think it's going to be pretty similar in most of our locations, but let's find out. Let's cue the weather.
Good morning and welcome to Madikwe Madikwe Game Reserve in the northwest province of South Africa. We've been sat enjoying this wonderful giraffe. She's been suckling the little thing for about 3 or 4 minutes. She had a good suckle as we watched the dawn slowly breaking in the northwest province. And now her mother is discussing the weekend plans and also chewing the cud. Hello, my name is James Hendry. On camera today is the freezing Johan. And it is cold, absolutely, but it's going to warm up beautifully during the course of the day. We're going into the sort of end of winter, and that's a good thing. So instead of warming up to around about 21 degrees or so, it's going to go up to about 25 or 26 today, which is around 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And that essentially means the winter's over. This is called the collective amnesia that we even have winter here. Lovely way to start here at Madikwe. Please remember to talk to us. Hashtag Safari Live is the... No, it's not. Hashtag WildEarth is the hashtag you should be using. Get hold of us on Twitter, and especially if you're watching on one of the many platforms that we broadcast onto around the world, Freeview in the UK, Roku Channel in the US, LG in the US, and various others, Geo in India. There are too many for me to try and remember. Talk to us on Twitter, please. Hashtag WildEarth. Questions, comments. We'd love to hear from you. And you can also register on our website, wildearth.tv, and you can send questions and chat there as well. So we'd love to hear from you wherever you are in the world. And Sandra has just got hold of us from Germany, and she said good morning to everybody here. And good morning to you, Sandra. It's quite early there. No, Germany's probably on the same time zone as we are, I think. So I think it's 6:30 there too. I hope you've got a nice cup of German coffee with you. Delicious. I'm not sure what German coffee is like, because I've never been to Germany. I will have to ask my German friend. Then she comes out here in September to go on the safari. She will now be giggling quietly in just outside Munich, no doubt. Oh, shame, little bit itchy. Sherry, that's a very good question, because I haven't told you my plans. You say you're excited for this drive, and what are my plans for the day? My plans are to head northish towards the airstrip, see if we can pick up any sign of the lioness and her 3 cubs, and then we'll head on further west and north into the big clearings, or what they call the plains here, and see if that cheetah mum and her cubs aren't around. But there'll be lots of stuff in between. I'm hoping for some good birds. Still need to get a handle on all the larks. And the cisticolas that are hereabouts. This behaviour reminds me of my own daughter, who likes to rub her head on one when she is feeling itchy or tired. She doesn't manage to stand quite as well as this giraffe, though, even though this giraffe is probably of a similar age, actually. In fact, I suspect this giraffe is about 3 or 4 months younger. I'd say this giraffe's probably 6 months old. And there's no ways that my daughter can stand on her own 2 feet. Okay, I think we've probably milked this sunrise giraffe sighting for all it's worth. So we're going to hand you over to Tristan Riddle, who's at Juma Private Game Reserve on the western fringes of the Great Kruger National Park, and we're going to head towards the airstrip. Dun, 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 dun.
Good morning and welcome to Juma Private Game Reserve. It's a relatively frosty morning here, but we're still out and about. The sun is coming up, so it looks like it might be warming up quite nicely for us. Got off to a pretty good start this morning. Found a nice elephant bull slowly feeding. Just trying to figure out whether or not he's in must. It looks like he might be in the early stages of must, but still pretty calm and relaxed. I'll just keep an eye on it. Oh, seems to be a little bit inquisitive, interested in us being here. We won't stick around for too long, not wanting to make the elephants uncomfortable. Good morning, Vicky. We're just going to give this elephant a little bit of distance. Nice big elephant bull. We'll just give him a little bit of space. Oh, seems like he's just wanting to scratch on the tree, on that marula in front of him. Cool, apologies for just wiping the lens. It is quite cold here, so it's frosting up a little bit. As you can see, it seems to be quite a cold morning. Even this elephant bull is feeling it. Very, very relaxed so far, very, very sedated. We'll leave him to do his thing, and we'll take you across to Cedric to say good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Riddle. Yes, we've got a beautiful male elephant as well here on the fire break. And it's just digging up some of the roots. But yes, it is a lovely morning here at Djuma Private Game Reserve, of course, here in the world-renowned Sabi Sands, South Africa. Well, I'm looking forward to this morning, and my name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me on Rusty, we've got Gert. I'm looking forward to this morning because we did follow up on some lion tracks around here. Unfortunately, these lion tracks went straight north. I do apologize, we are going to be wiping the lens quite often. There's a lot of dew in the air, and so we will be wiping the lens as often as possible to get a nice clear screen. But how nice is this male elephant? So what they're busy doing here, we've got a few of them this side, and we've got 4 males. And this one is busy digging up some nice roots from the round leaf teak. So they love this round leaf teak roots, even the branches as well. Sometimes they'll take out the branches and just roll it around in their mouth and to strip off all the bark. But there is 1, 2, 3. But look at him, he's digging it up. You can see using his feet, trying to grab those roots out there. A nice root. Ryan, age 13, good morning to you. Yes, they can sleep standing if they want to, so especially these big males and even the females. You know, lying down flat is a little bit sore for them because of their weight, so they rather like to stand up. And what they do sometimes, they'll actually lean against a tree or a termite mound, those big like sand heaps, and they'll lean against there, and so it's easy for them to, like when they wake up and they have to move off again, they don't have to stand up all the way, so they can just lean against the tree or a termite mound. But they really sleep short intervals. They don't go and sleep for a long time, so you're looking like maybe 15-20 minute intervals, and then they'll move on again. But he is loving the roots from the round leaf teak. That is very palatable, the round leaf teak. They don't really go for the leaves at all.
Are you a cat enthusiast? Here at WildEarth, we share this feline fervor. However, our cats are a little more fearsome. Bring your favorite feline friend along and join us as the WildEarth prides come roaring to your screen in an epic 3-day lion special in celebration of World Lion Day.
can see he's working it so hard. He just wants to eat it. But look, oh, he's beautiful. Isn't he stunning? I love it when they flare their ears open like that. It just seems like it just makes them look so much bigger. Arnold, what do they mainly use their tusks for? Well, Arnold... Oh, that one's not happy. He's pushed the other male away there. Arnold, just to dig up the roots, to rip off the bark off trees. For fighting, of course, the males use it for sparring. So if they're competing for a female that's in heat and there's two boys that's in must, I'll also do that. Use those tusks.
Good morning, anyone compliment you?
Lauren's on leave. She's not here anymore. So it's another guy called Tristan and myself. Nothing so far.
Just settling the excitement down a little bit after that elephant bull to start the morning. I realised in the excitement I missed a little bit. My name's Tristan Riddle, and behind the camera we have Cameron this morning. I just got a little bit caught up in trying to figure out whether that bull was in must or not. And just to give everybody to confirm it, he definitely was in the early stages of must. But we're going to carry on this morning. We're going to head to a little watering hole, see if there's anything interesting going on there. Unfortunately, I heard that Cedric said the Telematis have crossed out. Let's hope that they cross back in at some time today, just in honour of the last day of Lionfest. Surf 50 does cold weather affect elephant behaviour. It definitely has a little bit of an effect, as it does with most animals, but nothing major. They still need to do what they need to do. They need to keep moving, keep feeding, find water. So it might slow them down a little bit. They'll be a little bit slower to get the day started, like we saw with that elephant bull. Very slow getting started, no big movements, but they do still need to get around and feed and find water. So it's got a very limited effect on them. Oh, just spotted something in the distance. We'll see if we can get it into the camera for everybody. Good morning. Hi, Catherine. Thank you so much. I've just seen a kudu bull at a bit of a distance. We're going to see if we can get a closer look at him. Seems to be feeding on some leaves up at the taller parts of these smaller trees. Can just make out his horns. Ah, there we go, jeepers. Beautiful, majestic animals. I'll stand by that wild dogs are definitely my favourite animals out here, but kudu, a big kudu bull like this is definitely a close second. I think there's just something so special just about everything about them. They're very, very elegant and regal, in my opinion. Pete, it really is amazing how they just blend in. It's pretty crazy to think. You'd think those white stripes would make them stand out a little bit, but it really does. They blend in fantastically. If we were just driving past here, not paying attention, it would be very easy to just miss. It's quite important for these big kudu bulls as well to be able to blend in. Just with them being as big as they are and those horns being as big as they are, it is very, very important that they can blend in and slip away and be out of sight of any potential threats and predators. Just munching away at all those succulent little leaves right up at the top. Looks like there is still a little bit of growth. Yeah, he's not quite fully matured. Kudus are generally fully matured when they're around 2.5 to 3 curls in their horns. It looks to me, it's quite tough to make out, but it looks to me like he's into his second. Oh, absolutely beautiful, that white stripe across, right across the bridge of the nose. And there you can see that long tongue working. Damon from the UK, do they ever shed their horns? No, they don't. Their horns are something that will grow. They could possibly break, but they'll grow and they are permanent. You do often see antelope like kudu, impala, things like that, where they've broken horns possibly in fights. But no, they're very different from antlers, which a few animals have, things like deer and America, things like that. They have what you call antlers, and antlers shed and regrow. So a slight difference between antlers and horns. Oh, there we're getting a beautiful look at a front view of those majestic big kudu horns. You can really see the curls in the horns quite nicely now. Amber, thank you so much. Yeah, it feels good to be here. It feels good to be a part of the team. So far, I'm really enjoying it. It's different from what I know in terms of guiding, that sort of thing, but very fun. Yeah, lots of fun, and I really am enjoying it. Especially when you get to have your morning start like this, where you've got a nice elephant sighting to get going, and then a beautiful kudu bull. He's going to have to spend a lot of time feeding to fill that big frame when all he's eating is vegetation. Kabuki, is there a reason that their horns are spiraled? I don't think there's anything in particular. I think it's just a trait of the species. It's just how they are. I don't think there's any particular purpose that they serve. It could be possibly like with a lot of animals and a lot of different animals in the animal kingdom. It comes down to how much they appeal to females of their particular species. So maybe that's an evolutionary trait, maybe something along those lines. It's become like that to appeal to females, and the bigger the horns, the more prominent the curls, the more appealing they are to females. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I think it is just the way that the species is.
Are you WildEarth's biggest fan? Well, we have a brand new competition for you. Join our naturalists on Safari Live and listen out for weekly questions. To enter the competition, head over to our Instagram, search #WildEarthFanOfTheMonth and comment your answer under the post. The monthly winner will be determined by the total quickest and most correct answers. We announce our winner at the end of every month. Tune in to Safari Live daily.
Alright, I'm approaching the dam called Buffelshoek now, Buffelshoek Dam, and there's been so much line activity here on the northeastern corner. It's just got some lions. You can see they were lying on the road, you can see they were chasing something, so I'm just checking this area very carefully now because I don't think all of them went north into Buffelshoek, but we'll just double check on that. I think what we're going to do, I'm just going to maybe want to go around that side and follow the sun, or like this. I'm just going to stop here quickly at the dam. I just want to listen out. See if we can get any lions calling somewhere. But I did have some trucks going north into Buffelshoek, but I feel not all of them went that side. Got a nice little three-banded plover that's just busy munching on some water arthropods here. Oh, I'm looking for like maybe little pond skaters, something like that. Maybe some mosquito larvae. You never know. I can even see the steam coming off. It is quite chilly this morning, and I agree with Chris, it is something that you try not to drive at all, to enjoy the sun a bit. Alright, well, we're going to sit here and just listen out and look out for any other activity on those tawny cats. Let's head over to Madikwe to see what's happening on James's side.
Well, it's pretty warm here. Well, it's warming up. It's not warm. I'm talking absolute garbage. It's cold, but it's warmed up nicely. And we're sitting with a little flock of guinea fowl, listening to the call of the white-browed scrub robin going. Just trying to listen to some sort of natural sound, but there seems to be a vehicle behind us, which is hampering my ability to listen to the birds. Yes, Hilary, they are very cute. They look like fat ticks, in my opinion. Fat little ticks. And if you listen to them carefully, if you get close enough to them, they are constantly talking to each other. It's a little bit like if you follow meerkats. Meerkats also like to talk to each other as they go. This particular guinea fowl is obviously about to take off. They are at the Madikwe Eastern Airstrip currently. There was some talk of wild dogs in this area early this morning, which resulted in enormous excitement. Now you see, that is a clever guinea fowl. Do you see what it did there? It ran across the airstrip because it didn't want to be a hindrance to any aeroplane that might be landing. There's a stupid one going across now, just strolling gently, as if this is a totally normal place for a guinea fowl to be, which of course it's not. Look at it. And they are all puffed out because it's cold. Andrew, you're 10 years old and you're wondering if guinea fowls are part of the chicken family. Well, Andrew, no, they're not part of the same family, I don't think. Chickens originally come from something called an Indian jungle fowl. So if you go to India and you go to one of their wildlife areas, you'll find these remarkable birds that look like chickens, but beautiful ones. And they're called jungle fowl, and it is the domestication of those animals or those birds that gave us chickens. And I don't think, as far as I am aware, I don't think that the guinea fowl is part of the same family. They're not too distantly related, but I don't think that they're necessarily part of the same family. That's a good question. So although they look quite similar, and although they have similar habits, you know, they also forage on the ground, they also use their feet to dig up little things, they eat a lot of insects and crickets and that sort of stuff. I don't think that they are in the same family, but you know what? I'm going to look that up for you because I could be talking garbage. You won't be able to hear them. I can just hear them chatting to each other all the time as they go. Matriarch wannabe, why are there so many animals attracted to the airstrip? I mean, other than these guinea fowl, I really can't see anything on this airstrip at all. But I do know what you mean. It's generally, airstrips are quite attractive to animals because they're open. And that means that they're quite nice places for predators to be seen as opposed to see. And also for predators to move. You know, predators like to move in areas that allow them to see more easily and cover more ground. So you'll often find lions and wild dogs and even cheetahs coming out into these open areas to see what's going on. That's purely because they're open areas. Right, I'm nearly there with my research. One moment, please. Well, it turns out that they are chickens and guinea fowl in the same superfamily. So not quite the same family, but the same superfamily. And I mean, to all intents and purposes, that's the same family. So let's go, yes, they are in the same family. They're relatively closely related. Good. Nice one, Andrew. Nice question there. We're going to continue on. We're going to continue on towards the northern sides of the reserve and see if we can find something interesting that side on the plains. It's warming up very nicely here. I handed you over to Tristan Riddle once today. I'm now going to hand you over to Tristan Riddle for the second time today on Saturday.
We are down in the southern part of Djuma. I've heard Cedric's had a bit of luck with some lion tracks up in the northeast corner. So we don't want to group in that same area. We want to spread our resources. Look on the southern boundary road at the moment. It does look like there's a few tracks. It looks like there were tracks of some lions on the road here. I'm just going to follow along and see where those tracks lead to. They do look relatively fresh, I think possibly from late last night, maybe early this morning. But we'll go and check around. There is a watering hole close by. I do always like to go and check at those watering holes just in case. It's always a popular spot for animals. Depends on what time of the day. Maybe we're not so lucky and there's nothing there now, but it's always worth checking. These tracks are heading in this direction as well. So it is possible that the lions may have cut off towards the water. But all we can do is go and check and see what we find. I don't know, it's fun. All of them are fun. My favourite water track is an animal that I can find. So whatever it is that I end up finding, regardless of what that species is, if I can find it, then I'm going to say that's my favourite to track. Cats are always fun though. That is always quite an exciting one. And it's always satisfying if you do manage to find them at the end of it. We are going to head to this watering hole very quickly, see if there's anything going on over there. But let's send you across to Cedric and see if he's had any luck with those tracks.
Alright, we're still trying to track these lions down here. I'm still double checking, sorry, I'm just busy on the radio with another colleague of mine. Alright, yeah, it looks like they're belegged here in the northeastern corner. I don't know what from what, but yeah, I'm just trying to have a bit of a squiz here. Alright, 100%. I took a look at Buffelshoek Dam, nothing. I'm gonna try, I'll go a little bit further down to the cut line now. Alright, sorry, I was just trying to let them know what's happening with these lion tracks. But yeah, we are back with the elephants. Apparently it is World Elephant Day today, so how fitting is this? Starting our sunrise safari with some elephants. I know Tristan had a male that side, somewhere on Djuma, and I've got these two beautiful boys here on the fire break right in the northeastern corner of the property. And look at beautiful tusks on this male that's closest to us. Isn't he stunning? And they're still busy feeding on the round leaf teak. Ooh. But look at those tusks on him. So stunning. Perfect. Both of them. Not skew, they're both exactly the same kind of shape. But he's loving that drowned leaf teak. Even the eyes are half closed, so like almost sleep eating at the moment. Gregory, I'm clearly aligned with that. Yes, thanks, Gregory. Aligned, yeah. I thought like a lion, a lion. Yes, Gregory. Perfect. What a way to start this drive. I think it's, especially with the big boys like this, nothing better. Some magnificent mammals, aren't they? Look at that go. Oh, look at him just walking, strutting away.
Do you sometimes imagine what WildEarth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
Hello, my name is Maurice. I am from Perth in Western Australia.
Hello, I'm Stéphane. As you can hear, I am French and I'm doing the 35 days online course.
I started watching WildEarth during COVID. I decided that I wanted to study more, and in order to do that, I saw that Eco Training Friedlands was doing courses, and I decided to do the 8-week online theory course at the end of last year.
So the 35 days course, it basically starts with theory online, 3 sessions a week. Very enjoyable. We went really deep into it. Very holistic as well. Really enjoyed it. It goes from insects to stars to obviously your mammals and your birds. I liked the 2 components. It just got me really well prepared before I got here.
Despite my accents and my misunderstandings, Everyone has been very helpful and comprehensive to help me to understand everything.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out on your journey towards becoming a conservationist, our digital courses offer a flexible and accessible way to deepen your knowledge and understanding of the natural world. So why wait? Sign up for an eco-training digital course today. Start your journey towards a more sustainable and connected future today.
As we turned, we just saw a big buffalo cow running with a baby, and as we look to our right, there's the herd of buffalo, some of them sleeping, some of them ruminating. This is a nice find. That is very nice. There's a whole bunch of them. Nice to know that the herd of buffalo has come back to Pride Lands, and that could potentially mean that lions could be following them. I'm going to spend a bit of time here. Seems to be warming up a touch now. And maybe from here we'll backtrack and see where these buffalo came from. Sometimes the lions do follow them. We can see one staring at us with that typical buffalo stare. You owe me money. Bruno is asking if buffalo only eat grass. If not, what else do they eat? They are bulk grazers, as we can see there. In fact, interesting as that one is eating stink grass. Normally something other creatures don't eat, but buffalo eat all forms of grass, big and tall, small, coarse, not coarse. They eat it all. However, they do browse, but it is regional. You'll find that in the big open grassy savannas of Africa, they tend to have almost exclusively a grass diet. But if you look at the Greater Kruger, especially the northern half of the park is dominated by a tree called mopadi. And they do eat that as well. It's not the only leaves. They do occasionally browse to supplement their diet. And as I said, in parts of the northern parts of the park, they actually do eat a substantial amount of mopani leaves. But as a design, they are made to eat lots and lots of grass. Just moving around here a little bit. Let's get my seat right. They look like they are pointing south now. So they are very relaxed animals. But if you mess with them, they can become quite a handful. Oh, lovely scene that. Backlit bushveld with buffalo. Triple B. Backlit bushveld buffalo. Yeah. Also taking the time here. It's still very cold, so you never know if lions will be vocalizing. And this is kind of like the region where we think we might have heard those lions that were roaring this morning. Well, I'm going to stay here for a bit. As I said, my reasoning is let's watch the buffalo. but also I'm going to see where they come from, and I'm going to listen out for some lion. And while I do that, let's go over to Cedric.
Good luck, Chris. I'm hoping that there is lions following those buffaloes. Well, we've got some more elephants, and now we've got a breeding herd. So now we've got some females and little ones, not too far south from where we had those males a little bit earlier. As you can see, also feeding once again on these round leaf teak. It seems like the round leaf teak has been the order of the day for these elephants. They are absolutely enjoying them so much. You can see the one there rolling it around in its mouth. And there's a little one in front of it, of course, getting slapped by the leaves. I think that little one is maybe just looking for some little roots that's coming out there. It's nice to see some youngsters around, as always. A nice female. And another one to the left here. Not a big one, maybe about 7 or 8 of them. Anna Marie, it's always nice just watching elephants. I always feel peaceful as well, especially nice like this in the morning. Perfect. I'll be sitting here watching elephants. Got me a flask of coffee, which is it's filled with roaring flavor. And yes, what a stunning start to a day. Gotta love it. Roaring flavor. There's it's still lion fest, don't forget. So, but yeah, oh, nice female there. A bit of a skew right tusk. It's coming to the side, but beautiful tusks. Now you can see with the female's tusk compared to males, the female's tusks are way thinner. The male's tusk has got really nice and thick body to it. And then we've got this one that's just showing its bum. Not too interested in showing the face. But getting down to those roots. The youngster, this one just now has moved away now. He gave us a little bit of a mock charge earlier. But this is like a friendly mock charge by a youngster. Always love that. Look, going down, grabbing it with its teeth now, or maybe trying to dig it out with its tusk. Let's see. Sometimes they'll put it in its mouth. Yeah, it's putting it in its mouth. No, can't pull it out. That root is a little bit tough. No. Let's go look for another one. There we go. I think that's a thinner one. A little bit of an easier one to remove. There we go. Snap. Nom, 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 nom. Yes, Michelle, they are very smart, and I'm 100% that they know it's World Elephant Day. That's why they have decided to come out on the roads for us this morning, came on to Juma. They knew that they had to show face. They can't hide from this day. So, Michelle, yes, they definitely got the memo last night. But it is fantastic. I love it. It is... World Elephant Day, well, for me, every day is World Elephant Day because they're just magnificent animals, they're clever, they're smart, they know exactly what's happening around them, and also they are very cute, just like this little mushkin. Hello! Oh, following mom. Don't fall behind. Keep up with mom. Not a big herd, maybe about, I'd say 10 of them, which is still nice, 10, 11, 12 of them.
Welcome to Africam, your window to Africa's wild spaces. Immerse yourself in the captivating sights and sounds of nature. With our high-definition cameras, you'll feel like you're right there, in the heart of the action, where every moment is a surprise waiting to unfold. Join our global community of wildlife enthusiasts as we witness nature's drama unfold in real time.
So, with that and their role in the ecology, so with the numbers that you find in the parks here, I mean, buffalo eat coarse grasses, tall grasses, often, which is normally not suitable for the smaller grazers like impala and zebra. Well, not zebra really, but topi, those type of things. So large herds of buffalo effectively mow down the tall, coarse grasses, resulting in trampled and shortened grass areas, and they don't themselves stay long in those type of areas. The type of grass that you see there, that's what they prefer. But they essentially then create kind of like a grazing lawn for the other more selective grazers. We see zebra do the same. Even waterbuck is known to do the same as well as white rhino. So one of the adaptations they have for this lifestyle, being in a herd, living in tall grass areas, in terms of feeding. So firstly, very broad mouth. So they use their tongue, lips, and the lower row of incisors that are very broad compared to some other grazers to cut the grass. And they can cut large amounts at any given time. So therefore, it enables them to move quickly through an area, and as they move, they literally just grab mouthfuls of grass. That combined with a very large stomach, the rumen, they very quickly, in a very short time frame, fill up the rumen. And then they sit for hours to ruminate, chew the cud, which is the layman's term for it. So currently there's a lot of grass, so they don't move such huge distances, but they can if needed. Yeah, I've got the sneezes. I think I'm allergic to buffalo. I love watching buffalo move like that. Matt wants to know how many species of buffalo are there. All right, so basically if we go back to this is the African buffalo, although what we refer to as the nominotypical subspecies is the Cape buffalo. But let me explain. So we have the species African buffalo, and there are in fact a few subspecies, in fact 5. So there's 4 subspecies of the Cape buffalo, and then 1 subspecies of the species which is called the forest buffalo. So there's 5 different subspecies of this, and this is only relevant to the African buffalo, and ours are called the Cape buffalo. And generally speaking, they're all called Cape buffalo. Divided into 2 major groups, the savanna type and then the forest type. But altogether about 5 subspecies. Remember that there are other buffaloes in the world. Asian water buffalo, related but not the same species. Alright, well, I think we're going to backtrack and see if we can't find anything on lions. For now, let's head over to James.
We don't have any buffalo, we don't have any lions. There are reports of wild dogs, as I said, but nobody's actually seen them yet. So are we just going to hang at the dam here for a little while and see if they don't pitch up? We've got these beautiful shell ducks. That is the female shell duck, South African shell duck. She's the one with the little white head. And behind her, some little grebes. They used to be known as dab chicks. They're having a little swim and a forage in the water there. And beyond them, some wagtails, Cape wagtails. Nice. Very nice. And then we can try and pan off towards the left. And see if we can avoid the pole. There is the male shell duck with his grey head.
I'm not going to be able to see that.
And you're not going to be able to see the others. Okay, let me just, I'm just going to change the angle slightly. Oh, Billy from the US. A good question because I cannot answer it. How's that? I don't know where shell ducks get their name from. I'm not sure why they should be called shell ducks. They don't look like shells. They are... yeah, I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. Let me see what if my bird app says. Shell duck. Again, it's not shell with a double L, it's a single L. So it's obviously not shell as in something you'd find on a snail. There is the Goliath heron, and on the left-hand side of that, the 2 Egyptian geese, and 1 big spur-winged goose. magnificent looking thing is the spur-winged goose. Oh, my app is disturbingly uninformative. Distribution, voice, confusing species, adult, male, blah blah. Well, I mean, it's called its Latin name is Tadorna canna, and the canna comes from grey or grey-haired in reference to the head of the drake. But I have no idea it should be called a shell duck. I'm sure someone will let us know at some stage. Thank you. Anyway, the Egyptian goose, our only true goose out here. It has, not the Egyptian goose, the spur-winged goose, and that's because it's got a great big spur on its wing that it uses for slashing at other spur-winged geese, and presumably anything that might want to eat it. What else have we got here? Let's have a little look around. Shell duck, Goliath heron. Took me a while once to realize, I met a guy whose name was Goliath, to realize that that was an alternative pronunciation of Goliath. Hello, Andy from Germany. I have never seen lions eating Egyptian geese. I imagine that they would eat Egyptian geese if they found them dead somewhere. I think that you'd find an adult lion would probably not bother with trying to catch an Egyptian goose. A youngster might, and then they'd probably eat it. I know somebody who goes duck shooting from time to time, and we won't get into the merits of shooting ducks. Not something that I subscribe to, but I said, well, what are they, he eats everything he shoots. And I said, well, what do they taste like? Absolutely disgusting. And the only way you can eat them is to take the breasts, mince them up, and then cook them into a kind of stew so that you basically can't taste them at all. So that's not particularly delicious. Now, the dominant male lion coalition of this area is known as the Mahiwas. They have a blonde mane and a dark mane, and much like the Avokas, were called Blondie and Dark Mane. And so we are going to learn more about the Avoca coalition now.
We first met the young Avoca males in 2018 as lanky, young males. They were nomadic, recently excluded from their natal territory and searching for a place of their own. The brothers were sired by males of the Timbavati area and were born to the Avoca Pride in mid-2013. When they arrived at Djuma, they found a territorial vacuum. Erstwhile owners, the Birmingham boys, had simply upped and left to claim an area on the Sand River. So it was that the Avocas took the prime Djuma real estate without a fight, a privilege not afforded many male lions. Once they'd established themselves, the Avoca brothers slowly split, with Darkmane spending all of his time with the Talamati Pride, while Blondie and Mohawk moved further south with the Nkuhumas. Darkmane's tenure was nearly cut short by an altercation with a buffalo that left him with a permanent limp. He recovered and went on to sire a number of cubs with the Talamatis. Darkmane didn't live a long life, but it was a successful one. He held a territory alone for years, and his offspring hunt the woodlands of the Sabi Sand to this day.
So this is pretty perfect light for him this morning with the overcast weather. It's spreading the light evenly across his face so we can really nicely see the character on his face, the scarring, the age, and the darkness of his mane.
November 2022 sadly saw the death of the brothers Blondie and Darkmane. Blondie succumbed to tuberculosis. Darkmane was caught in the middle of an enraged buffalo herd that the Talamatis were hunting. He miraculously survived the harrowing buffalo ordeal.
His muscles are going to be sore, his joints are going to be sore, his skeleton is sore. He's definitely got some fractures, breaks somewhere from the impact of those buffaloes.
But extensive injuries, both internal and external, took their toll, and Darkmane died 3 days after the buffalo fight. Darkmane's death left Mohawk as the only remaining northern Avoca male. Right now, this grizzled and storied lion holds sway over the Nkuhuma Pride. As it is for all male lions, especially old males holding territory on their own, Mohawk's days are numbered. But his and the other Avoca's legacies live on in the memories they created for us and the genes they left behind.
Been a pretty interesting morning so far. We had reports of some leopard tracks that we went to go and check. They disappeared into the block. Then trying to follow around to see if they came out anywhere, we ended up with some lion tracks. And with it being the last day of Lion Fest, trying to follow those, they also went into a block. So we're trying to get around that block and see if they've come out anywhere. If they haven't come out, then it might be worth trying to get in there and take a look around. But at the moment, I haven't seen them come out on the road at any point. So we're just going to keep going around, seeing if there is any spot and hopefully some soft sand where they've come out so we can see signs of that. But at the moment, nothing just yet. Like I said, the tracks did disappear into the block. So my best guess is that they are still in there. But at the moment, chasing my own tail a bit, just trying to see any signs of the movement.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
you may notice a few of them as they move along. You may notice a few of them with their heads down, investigating things that might be in the grass. And if you are thinking kudus don't normally eat grass, you are correct. They are what you call browsers, so they spend their time feeding on leaves and small twigs, things like that. But what they do often do is look for fallen fruits and other things like that that they may find on the ground. So like I said, they are not eating the grass. They are looking for fruits and other things like that that may be enjoyable. An animal that you may see mixing their feeding is an impala. Similar to the kudu, a smaller antelope species, you may see them mixing their feeding a little bit. They're mixed feeders, so they browse as well as graze, meaning they eat leaves as well as grass.
All right, I've pretty much came down a little bit further south from the eastern boundary, and then I've just cut in west again. And apparently I heard that Mr. Riddle has got some lion tracks. I'm not too sure exactly where. So of course, so Tristan and Cameron, of course, the cam-up is fairly new to the area, so I'm hoping that they're not lost. So I'm trying to see if I can locate them and give them a hand on those lion tracks. But yeah, we'll see how that works out. But for now, that said, I think I heard something that might be, I know that he was working Philemon's cut line, maybe Treehouse Dam side, so I might have to track down some tire tracks of a vehicle called Wendy. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's see. That's our morning mission for now. But now it's starting to warm up nicely. The sun is out. It seems like now the temperature is changing quickly. I know for the next few days it is going to be quite warm and quite hot. I think in the 30s. So that is wonderful. My kind of temperature. Oh yes. Oh yes. Alright, let's look around now. Just passing a pan called a chela pan. Now I'm thinking with lion tracks, I don't know if it's male or female. I'm going to take a look. Oldie but goodie, hello from Florida. Wow, wow, well. Good morning here from South Africa. Thanks for joining us, oldie but goodie. I'm hoping you are enjoying the safari with us this morning. I've got something in my eye. But yes, it is a lovely day. I'm sure Florida, what's it now? Florida that side, so it must be very warm, but in Florida, what time is it? Sure, it should be actually very early in the morning. Or late at night. It's about 11 o'clock in Florida, isn't it? I think it's about 9-hour difference, 10-hour difference. Nice. Alright, well, as you can see, this is live and interactive. So if you've got comments or questions or any suggestions, and if you are watching on the WildEarth website or the app, make sure that you do register so you can send those comments through. And questions or suggestions. I haven't seen a leopard track this morning. Actually, I'm hoping, hopefully I can pick up on where these line tracks have gone that Tristan's got, but yeah. Anyway, while we're going to continue trying to search for Mr. Riddle, let's head over to James in Madikwe.
Well, interesting things that have come across my brain, my small brain, while we've been here. I had no idea about this. James Richards says that chickens and guinea fowls actually can hybridize, which is common in the family, or in the order Galliformes, which is fascinating. I'm going to read up on that. Thank you very much. So Andrew, 10 years old, are chickens and guinea fowls in the same family? Yes, we'll say they definitely are, but very interestingly, they are also able to make babies together, which is just weird and amazing at the same time. Then I'm just quickly checking something. The great Judy H., the world's most impressive digital botanist, has come up with a name for this plant. I'm going to read it to you. It is Tarchanathus littoralis. Tarchanathus littoralis. Now, this was the plant that I found yesterday while we were way down in the southwest. It has these beautiful little cotton balls, and then a lavender smell to the leaves, and somebody suggested it was baby's breath, but it definitely wasn't that. So there we go. Tarchanathus littoralis. You see, I'm going to have to hear that or read it at least 35 times in order to remember it. Tarchanathus littoralis. Or camphoratus, that makes sense. Tarchanathus camphoratus, which it does smell like camphor, you see. Thank you, Judy H. Once again, you continue to astound me. We've been at this waterhole now for some time, and I think we're probably going to move on from it because it would seem to me that the hounds are perhaps not going to pitch up here in the next little while. Tarchanathus, can I remember the word? Tarchanathus, can I remember the word? Bush Barbie, how do waterholes like this get their names? Well, they're just named by the people who make them. So this particular waterhole is known as Chukudu Dam, which is, it means rhino in Setswana, and I suspect it was called that by, somebody who built it. Can you see the dead tree there, Johan? And can you film it, or is it the pole in the way? If you can zoom in as far as you can, you'll see not just a couple of fairly banal looking doves, but indeed you will see some rock pigeons. Very nice. Some rock pigeons. Let me just check that they're still called rock pigeons. They certainly used to be. They're probably called something else now. My small brain just can't keep up with it all. They are called, no, they're now called speckled pigeons. So those are speckled pigeons. Good. That will be our final effort here at Chukudu Dam for the day before we head on towards the north. Tarchanathus.
Do you love relaxing at a waterhole with the sights and sounds of Africa all around you? Well, we have some really exciting news for you. From August 1st, Africam is joining forces with WildEarth to bring the majesty of Africa right into your living room with 9 incredible new waterhole cameras from across South Africa and Kenya. Get ready to embark on a new journey. This is Live at the Waterhole.
Best of luck to Chris in finding lions. We're also needing a bit of that luck. Yeah, we've moved on from that block where it looked like the lions went into. What I think may have happened is they may have crossed out on quite a hard patch of the road where the tracks aren't really too defined. So it was quite tough to see any sign of them leaving the block. And yeah, I couldn't find any signs of them there. So we're just going to check out some different areas. Still trying to keep myself and Cedric in different spots where we're spreading the resources as much as possible. But we're still on the mission. It is also a little bit of a bonus for me just being able to get a real feel for the reserve. I'm enjoying being able to learn the roads. Obviously it would be nice to have some big game to enjoy, but personally for me it is nice to be able to just learn the roads, move along nice and slowly while we're doing it, so I don't have to rush from place to place. I can take it nice and slow, also make sure we're not missing anything. We'll see if we can head to some nice big open clear areas, maybe another watering hole or two, but we'll see if we can get to some clearings where we've got a nice big clear line of sight, see if there's anything in those clearings. Maybe as the sun comes up you might find a cat or two in some shade as well. Seems like there were plenty of elephants moving along this road at some point early this morning or late last night. Plenty of tracks all over the road here. quite astonishing to see this late into winter how much foliage there still is on these trees with the late winter rains we had. Peter, what's been my scariest moments as a guide? I've had a couple of close calls on foot tracking with a tracker, a couple of close calls in that respect. When I say close calls, just like get the heart pumping, nothing really too dangerous. But I think probably my scariest moment must have been driving with guests, because obviously then you're responsible for a few other people. So driving with guests, and we were on a damn wall, and we were viewing in a vehicle, we were viewing a herd of elephants, and then out of some thicket that we hadn't noticed, myself and the tracker that I was working with at the time, we didn't notice a big elephant bull. Like the one this morning, an elephant bull in must, but much further into that state of must. So he wasn't too happy with us being close by. So he gave us a couple of, revved us a little bit on the damn wall, till he eventually started coming straight towards us. And it was nothing really to be concerned about. I think the main thing I was concerned about is the guest reaction behind me, because they definitely got a bit of a fright. So you could hear they weren't too happy being there. So I had to get us into reverse and on the damn wall head as quickly as I could backwards. But yeah, I think they were just a little bit nervous of the fact that we were on the damn wall, quite narrow. So nothing really to be concerned about, but I definitely, just because of the responsibility of other people being on the vehicle, I felt like, it was maybe not the best way to handle it. That was a little bit nerve-wracking for me. But yeah, nothing too major. It's you always look back on it, and it was such a wonderful experience. Even in the moments it might seem scary, but when you look back on it, it's always fantastic. We're just going to keep our plan, stick to our plan. But for now, while we do that and try to find some lions for Lionfest, let's send you over to James.
We're just quickly stopping here to have a closer look at our spur-winged goose. We're going to ignore the incredibly common creature moving towards the left there and enjoy the spur-winged goose, which is now putting his head into the mud, looking for tasty morsels, snails and the like in the mud. And you know, you and I, if we came wandering through here, I don't think we'd have any idea what sort of things and creatures and invertebrates there were living in the mud of a little pan like this. But rest assured, there are many thousands of different kinds of delicious things, well, delicious if you happen to be a spur-winged goose, that live in the mud here. And I will now read you a long list of what it is that the spur-winged goose likes to eat. Bulk of the diet made up of plant matter, rhizomes, stolons and leaves of sago, pondweed, that might be what it's going for, the roots and rhizomes of the pondweed, Potamogeton pectinatus, turions and achinis of wavy-leaved pondweed. I don't know what a turion or an achini is, I'm going to have to look that up. Seeds of grass, shoots of bulrush, common reed or phragmites, algae, ripe kernels, lucerne, potatoes, sweet potatoes, peanuts, sunflower rice, sounds like a vegan or two that I've met, rice and overripe figs. Birds feeding on maize probably need less time to feed than in pristine areas. But they'll also eat termite alates, bugs from the order Hemiptera, beetles from the order Coleoptera, and their larvae. Young catch small fish by diving. Oh, but 3 downy ducklings had eaten only... Oh, never mind. Cool. So quite a lot, but largely a vegetarian, almost exclusively. Very nice. Then there's some other little birds in front. And we've got, ooh, in front of that log there, yeah, just in front there, that little bird there, that's a pied wagtail. Abe, you're wondering what other animals we find at Chukuru Dam. Well, anything that's thirsty, Abe. Chukuru, rhino, you'll find lots of elephants on hot days. Lots of birds, impalas, wildebeest, giraffe. Pretty much anything that is thirsty and lives in the area. Very nice. Right, I think we've wasted enough time here at Chukuru Dam. No wild dogs have pitched up. Ooh, hang on, what's going on? Oh, do you know what that was? That was simply the Egyptian goose losing its temper with the shell ducks and chasing them off. I don't like Egyptian geese very much. Them and hardy-dars, I got to tell you, we have a relationship that is not based on much respect. All right, I forgot who we're going to link over to, but we're going to leave here and carry on towards the north.
So this jackal is being probably a little bit more protective than looking for an eagle for its food, which is very, very interesting. This is something I've never seen before. But looking at it closely now, it looks to be a tawny eagle by the fact that the gape on the mouth doesn't extend past the eye. But needless to say, it is an eagle. It's landed on the ground. Bat-eared foxes being in the area denning choose their den sites very specifically for food resource, being harvested termites. So there's a good chance the tawny eagle, or the eagle itself, is walking around trying to snatch up some food in the form of insects, and the jackal is having none of it. Snazzy, that is a very big bird, but if the bird doesn't play his cards right, the jackal could have it, because jackals are very, very quick, very, very fast, and they can bite quite powerfully.
Apologies for the issues there, apologies for losing the audio with Cedric. Yeah, you're back here with us, still sticking to our plan. We've come to a nice, more open, clear area, a recently burnt area where the grass is starting to grow through very, very nicely. Very popular with grazers, the sort of green shoots of grass. Not having too much luck, lots of old tracks and those sorts of things, a couple of impala. So there's a few things going on here, but nothing major just yet. Quite nice that we've got a pretty clear field division in the bushes here into the thickets, but unfortunately the road we're on at the moment is quite hard. It's hard to see any tracks on the roads here. And at least, yeah, fingers crossed as well on our side. Hopefully there's some cats to be found this morning. Well, we haven't had much luck in actually seeing them. We do know that there's been lots of activity in this particular area of the place.
Not everyone gets excited to hear a leopard chuff, spot a pangolin, or see a real impala rat. But if you are wild about the wild, you can become part of a community of like-minded nature lovers and share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Join the Explorers Club and you will also enjoy the many benefits that come with it too. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
To become a skilled safari guide, traversing the African bush and encountering wild animals up close. Whether you're a retiree, a recent graduate, or a professional seeking a change, the 55-day eco-training program is for you. This comprehensive course will provide you with an unparalleled opportunity to gain expertise in every aspect of the African bush. With the coaching of experienced training guides, you'll embark on an unforgettable adventure that will give you a deep understanding of wildlife, conservation, and African cultures. Over the course of the program, you'll learn essential skills such as animal tracking, bird identification, and bush survival techniques. But the benefits of this rigorous training go far beyond technical knowledge. You'll also form close bonds with fellow nature enthusiasts and conservationists from around the world, creating a global network of like-minded individuals. Your days will be filled with excitement and wonder as you observe animals in their natural habitats and explore the diverse landscapes of Africa. Return home with newfound knowledge, a qualification, unforgettable memories, and a sense of accomplishment that will last a lifetime.
Alright, so I'm still trying to follow up on these lion tracks around Treehouse Dam. I don't see much coming out on Treehouse Dam Road or Savage Track. I mean Shabamu Road, it's just of course a little bit further west from me. but there is very fresh leopard tracks, male leopard tracks going directly down towards Gowrie Main, I'm sure crossing into Little Gowrie. So that's, I'm not going to follow up on that. That's already been done. But for now, I'm still looking around here. I've got a feeling maybe they're in this drainage line here. I don't know if it's big tracks, so it is for a male. I couldn't see maybe if it's for two. I just saw really one set of tracks at the moment. So I might actually jump again off here and just get my shoes a little bit dirty, and just to see if we can follow up on this Leon that went inside of this, like the inflow of Treehouse Dam. Nothing else crossed that, or I might just go and do a little bit of a wider berth. I might have missed something, and if I have, then it's a good thing just to do a little bit of a wider loop around and just go and take a look at other roads in the vicinity. Luke, they are always, alright, I'll show you quickly here. So this line came across here, and you can see that looks like maybe like a youngish male, but you can just see this side here. I'm just watching out for the sun, but you can see the 3 lobes at the back here, and of course the 4 toes in front. So they came right past here, directly to the inflow of Treehouse Dam. Yeah, I'll have to do some walking, but I don't think I'll get that opportunity, so I think I might just get onto the vehicle and start moving. Alright, well, maybe we find something else. Luke, Lion prides, they can split up sometimes, depends on what's happened during the night time. Sometimes if they're chasing buffaloes and all of a sudden they go all different directions, then of course they'll split up. But other than that, Luke, they try and stick together as a pride, eh? Or if there's males coming in, new males, and all of a sudden all the pride just runs, bolts all different directions, yes, that could be also a big possibility. But anyway, alright, we're not going to track here then, so I'm just going to move on and go towards the southern boundary and let's see what's around there. Bye bye! Past Treehouse Dam. Move on. I might just go to Gowrie Main. I think the best is always the southern boundary. I'll take a look around that side. Alright, well, we're going to continue with our little safari, see what else we can find. Let's head over to Chris to see what's happening in Pridelands.
Right, still at it, still driving around. It seems to be what we do at the moment. It's the only way. Animals are not going to come to us, we need to find them. Okay, let's try something else. Go to Leopard Dam. How about that? Sit there for a little bit. It's a bit early though, actually, no. Just enjoy driving around. Yeah, it's been tricky here. It's been very, very tricky the last couple of days. Challenging. There's an elephant. They are definitely always around. Let's stop here for a bit. Lisa, hi there. My favorite animal to track is lions. I like to track lions. Leopard as well. I like to track lions. It's fun. Elephants, we don't normally really track them. It's normally not a need to track them. Buffalo herds are relatively easy. Like that, elephants, you'll just find them. So when we track, it's most often lion and these things, and preferably on foot as well. Keeps you on your toes. In terms of awareness. Well, I wasn't aware that it's apparently World Elephant Day. It seems like there's a day for everything lately. Well, it's quite fitting. If it is World Elephant Day, then we are in business. We've got elephants. I'm being entangled here by ropes and all sorts of wires. Quick link to James. He's got something. Let's go take a look.
Right, chaps, we've got, unbelievably, a leopard here. Now, it's quite difficult to see, and so I'm going to break the law by asking you to click the doubler. And she's just there, the tree, so there you can see her move. And she's got a cub here. And this is not an amazing quality picture because we are on this digital extender, but it's allowing us to get a view of her. And she's up on this beautiful rocky kopje, and that's where you're going to find leopards at Madikwe. Now she has got a cub somewhere just quite close by, and I'm going to keep searching for her. And I do apologize for the quality of the picture, but that is just so that we can see her. There she's moving now. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see if she calls the cub. There she's going up the rocks now. I think she's seen something she might want to eat. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Hey. Now guys, this is very special because leopards, although they are here, they are not frequently seen like they are on the Sabi Sands. And if we were close to this cat, she'd run away. We're probably about 150 meters from her. Isn't that amazing? If I look with my naked eye, I can't see her. Now, I wonder if she's not going to call her cub out. And I'd love to say we had found her, but we did not. She was found by some very kind people in the car in front of us. Oh, and there's a kudu, that's what she's looking at. There's a kudu above her. Directly above her, there's a kudu bull. If he sees her, he's going to go ballistic. Ooh, Landon, you and me both. This is also my first leopard in Madikwe. Yeah. I don't know. Can you see the kudu above her? If you just tilt up, Johan. It's very difficult with this doubler on, everyone, so I do apologize for the lack of clarity on the picture. It's not Johan. There's the kudu. You can just see the kudu right above her. You see him? There, the kudu's seen her. Let's zoom back in. Don't worry on the kudu. Let's zoom back in on the leopard. Did you hear the kudu there going? There we go. He's seen her now. That's an alarm call. Now she's not sure if we've seen her or not. I just want to see if I can spot the colour. So the value of this sighting, everyone, is not that we're going to get unbelievably amazing pictures of this cat, because obviously we've compromised the quality in order to just get a view. It's to marvel at this completely wild cat, her ability to get into spaces that make her nigh on invisible, and enjoy the rarity of a sighting like this in a place like Madikwe. Very special, very different sort of a leopard sighting from a Sabi Sands one, but no less special.
Did you know that the WildEarth team makes weekly behind the safari content? Would you like to get to know the WildEarth family better? See how we live.
This is Igor's bedroom.
Learn about our production process. And see the antics that happen off camera. Sign up to be an explorer and you will get access to all this content and more.
I think we got the best view of this cat by some margin. And I think that there are going to be a lot of vehicles coming to have a look. Oh, I can just see her. She's moving.
Yeah.
She's moving to the right.
Yeah.
There she is. Yeah, she's just moving to the right. Moving to the right above that shepherd's tree.
You got her?
There she is. Very cool. Alright. We're probably going to have to pull out here, everyone. Well, we might be able to stay for a little while. Let's see if we can stay for a little while. Unbelievable stuff. So we've got probably a last view of her there. She's just moving along the, obviously along the parallel, or kind of along a contour on this kopje. Thank you. Unbelievable. Oh, that's a great view, everyone. As I say, you're not going to get great screenshots out of this, but that's not the point. The point is a completely wild leopard. Crook, you say how graceful along the rocks. Absolutely. Alright, I think we are going to have to leave, I'm afraid. Okay, everyone, we're going to have to pull out of the sighting. Thank you very much, Johan. I think just stick on her if you don't mind. Sorry, no, never mind. I was just going to help these other guys see her, but we'll try that without us. Okay. That was very, very special. Let's go across to Tristan and see what he has to say about leopards in Madikwe.
I just jumped out the vehicle for a few minutes. We saw some tracks of lions again. I know it's been a lot of lion tracks and not much results, but there are some tracks on the road. We're going to carry on following along when we get going again. I did just find something that I thought was quite interesting and I wanted to share with everybody. If you take a look now, it's an old tortoise shell. Yeah, pretty old. You can see it's really been sitting in the sun for a while. But you can still see a few of the scroots on there, and the scroots being those plates that cover the shell. Looks like it was a little leopard tortoise. Looks like the shell has been quite badly damaged. I'm not too sure what happened. Obviously, I wasn't there, but you can take a couple of guesses. I think it may have been something trying to get in there. Something got in, broke the shell, got it out. Any number of things. I mean, I've even seen lions eating tortoises, but a few bird species, different reptiles. There's lots of different things that would go after these leopard tortoises, especially when they're small like this. But you can see quite clearly broken shell. But it's quite nice. You can see a bit of that pattern left on the scroot. I just thought it was a nice little interlude while we are looking for lions. But I think we'll carry on from here. I'll take the shell, put it back. It doesn't belong to me, it belongs to the bush. And then we'll keep following these tracks on the road. Okay, these tracks seem to be heading directly east along the road. So we're going to follow along while they are on the road. If they cut off, I might have to jump off again and see if they head, what direction they head off and where they head off to. But if they carry on the road here, we're going to head towards another watering hole and see if there's any sign there of hopefully these lions and possibly anything else. Jen, where does the name leopard tortoise come from? It comes from when you see the shell, when you see it like the proper actual animal, not just an old shell. On the shell, on those scroots, there's a lot of spots that are very, very similar to a leopard spot. So it's obviously a nice connection. It does also make for another nice little addition to the few things we have in the bush. For example, the big five. The leopard tortoise is a part of what you call the small five. So it's just one of those nice little plays on the patterning and on the connections you can make between different animals. still seem to be just next to the road. So, pretty positive sign for us. We'll just carry on following the road while they are here. We're going to keep up this tracking mission with this new fresh information we've got. But while we're doing that, let's send you back across to Chris with some elephants.
Elephants have moved into the woods. So I'm just repositioning myself here. And hiding behind a blackthorn. Another one of the thorn trees found here. No, that's a knobthorn. The one in front. Nice big, eh? Anyway, I think they are pointing towards the dam, which is about a half a kilometre southeast of us. And that's our intention, is to eventually head there. Like us, this elephant bull is just enjoying the sun, since it was a very cold morning. It's heating up nicely now. It's livable now. But it was miserably cold this morning. It was really not fun. No, it's great. Lovely temperature at the moment.
Stay up to date with the latest happenings at WildEarth. Discover what goes on behind the scenes and get a weekly recap of the best moments on the channel.
He's got it! And he's straight up a tree!
Sign up to be an explorer and receive our newsletter written just for you and sent straight to your inbox every week. WildEarth Explorers, a club for people who are passionate about nature.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
It was a fine bull, I must say. Young, but fairly impressive for his age. Chewing slowly. Like us, also just enjoying a bit of heat after a very cold morning. Off to the water, buddy. Well, it was quite nice, I must say. Enjoyed that. And off to the water hole we are.
Alright, I'm outside my vehicle once again. I am doing a little bit of road maintenance and bush clearing. As you can see, here is a big stump that's on the road, and I've seen every Tom, Dick and Harry has been going around this little stump. And what happens, you're creating another little road on top here. It's a termite mound here. It's a sensitive area. Why drive over it? If you can just remove the stump. Just like that. Put my back into it. Took me, what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds just to do that. Just to do that. Plus, it's also a bit of exercise for the morning. Anyway, let me continue. I think that's what I've been taught as a guide over so many years now, is don't drive around something like that. Get out or ask your truck to jump off quickly, remove it, and at least you've got an easy road. But no, let's drive around. Anyway, that's enough for the venting side. Let's continue. I've got beautiful male leopard tracks heading down Zoe's. I might have cut in towards Monkey Orange, and I think I'm gonna head down on Monkey Orange here, this road, and just to take a look. I know that Shidulu's tracks going up and down here, that female leopard going up and down. Ooh, sorry, I think there's some nice dwarf mongoose that's busy sunning at the moment on the termite mound. Talking about Shidulu, I'm going to ask her if we can. I'm going to leave the vehicle running. Got it, yeah. Okay, we can just see it through the leaves there. A couple of dwarf mongoose enjoying the early morning sun. Sunbathing, yes. This morning was quite chilly, and now the morning is starting to really get nice and warm, and I think that's exactly why these dwarf mongoose are sitting here on the eastern side of the mound. I just love them. I always say, what is a safari without a dwarf mongoose in it? Leopard lover, yes. So while Shidulu was on the property yesterday afternoon, just before, I came up on the road, and her tracks was on top of my vehicle tracks, and it went into Arethusa. So she went that side. I'm sure she went back to her cub on Arethusa side. Tortoise Pan, well, this must be his tracks going Zoe, so I'm going to do this other road here onto the eastern side or western side of Zoe's just to take a look. Tlilamba, no idea. I haven't seen her tracks for a while. I'm not too sure exactly where she's hanging out. Maybe in Torchwood. So yes, and Tsumi, no idea. So yeah, let's on y va, let's move on. Looks like the dwarf mongoose have decided to run from us. But yeah, they put it this way, my focus this morning was because it's Lion Fest. I went right to the northeastern corner to try and follow up on those lions that they had there around there last night, and unfortunately no luck there. There is that one lion track coming towards Treehouse Dam. So my main focus has been on lions, and it's yeah. Look, if I had a choice this morning early and if I didn't get an update on those lions, I would have been in this side first thing this morning. I might have had tortoise span on screen, but it's just decisions, you know. What will I do the next drive, you know? But it's all right. We'll find the leopardos now. We had a good run on it. Okay, I think we have to, yeah, while we're talking about Lion Fest, I think let's go and take a look at a beautiful clip from the past, all about the Nkuhuma Pride.
In the woodlands of Djuma and the northern Sabi Sand lives a pride with a taste for buffalo.
Look. The rest of the pride needs to come in as well and help this female. Now, this is what I was saying about lions and buffalo. It's absolute pandemonium.
The Nkuhumas have a storied history of upheaval and change that we have been privileged to watch over the years. The arrival of the 5 Birmingham boys in the winter of 2015, followed by the drought of the following summer, was a difficult time for the pride. The new males killed a number of tiny cubs before siring their own offspring. Many of these, however, succumbed to white muscle disease caused by the consumption of malnourished buffalo. They also found themselves afflicted with mange. WildEarth has followed the Nkuhumas for many years, and during that time we have grown to love them. 2 of the most loved and recognizable lionesses were Purple Eye and Amber Eyes. Purple Eye was characterized by her injured purple right eye, fluffy chin, and pink nose with large spots. Purple Eye had cubs born to both the Birminghams and their successors, the Avoca males. Her last 3 male cubs still move frequently in the company of Mohawk, the last remaining Avoca. Born in 2012 and named after the deep burnt orange tones of her gaze, Amber Eyes was an intimidating presence in the pride. Sadly, her story was a somewhat tragic one. She bore 4 litters, but only managed to raise 2 cubs to adulthood. That, however, didn't stop her from being a doting aunt to all the other Nkuhuma cubs. In 2021, Amber Eyes broke away from the pride and migrated to the central parts of the Sabi Sand on the Sand River. It's not clear why she split from the Nkuhumas. Perhaps it was pressure from marauding males, or perhaps there was a territory vacuum. In November 2022, Amber Eyes mated with a Plains Camp male and bore 2 cubs. Sadly, the mother and her cubs died of their wounds sustained during a fight with the Mungan pride. The Nkuhumas have overcome disease, drought, marauding males, and countless upheavals. This famous group of lions is recovering and has recently returned to the Djuma area, once the core of its territory. We can't wait to see what the future has in store for this iconic pride.
We just had a grey heron posing beautifully for us. Just flown off. I'm not sure if you caught just the tail end of it flying. But we do have a couple of hippos in the water. The tracks that we were following along that road, they did cut off, and it seemed to be in the general direction of coming towards this watering hole. So I thought it might not be a bad idea just to come past and check. Doesn't seem to be anything around here other than these hippos just popping their heads out for us. Yeah, not a lot going on. It could be quite interesting with these hippos here on a day like today. With it being winter season, the water could be pretty cold. So on a day like today, you might find that they come out and sit on the sides of the water just to sun themselves a little bit to warm up. There's a little bit of a breeze, so maybe that's not the case today, but it is quite interesting. One of the only times you'll really see hippos out of the water during the day. Suzelle, yeah, I also do like hippos. I agree, maybe they are a little bit underrated. They're not one of those high profile animals, they're not a part of the big five, they don't get the love that giraffes get. Maybe they are a little bit underrated. Very interesting animals, I think. There's a lot about them that I don't quite understand, their lifestyle habits, just the way that they're built really as well, how they can be these big tank-like animals, and they've got such hectic weaponry. They've got those big tusks in their mouths and that big jaw. I don't understand how they can be grass eaters. I suppose I've put their heads back under the water. We'll see if they pop back up again. Pretty spectacular scene though. Not a bad spot to stop and just enjoy the day and enjoy what's on offer for us here at Djuma. Beautiful blue skies as well, cleared up fantastically, not a cloud in the sky after the last few days being a little bit overcast. It really is quite a spectacular day. If it wasn't for all the brown grass and the lack of leaves on the trees, you'd almost think this wasn't winter. You'd almost think that we were in the summer season with the beautiful blue skies. Quite strange, just looking around the water's edge, I'm not even seeing any of the typical water birds you'd find. And please remember, this is an interactive live safari, so any questions and comments, feel free to ask and put your comments down. You are welcome to put them through on Twitter as well. If you are using Twitter, just use the hashtag WildEarth. Just slowly and patiently scanning the water.
Welcome to Africam, your window to Africa's wild spaces. Immerse yourself in the captivating sights and sounds of nature. With our high-definition cameras, you'll feel like you're right there in the heart of the action, where every moment is a surprise waiting to unfold. Join our global community of wildlife enthusiasts as we witness nature's drama unfold in real time.
Well, finally we have found our tawny animals for the morning. I am so happy. As you can see now, it's unfortunately a little bit out of focus, and there they are. The impalas. Busy feeding on some grass, wagging their tails. I am so excited that we got them. Yeah. Almost had to go off-roading for these impalas. No, I'm just kidding. I'll never off-road for impalas. But isn't they? Well, are always beautiful. I love them. Nice a few females around here, 1 or 2 young males in this breeding herd. Riley, yeah, well, we gotta make some fun for the Saturday morning. It's always good fun. I do love watching impalas sometimes because you never know what's lurking in the background or around the area. We had those beautiful male leopard tracks coming down on Zoe's just to the west of us, and that's why I'm just sitting a little bit with them. Maybe they might alert us on some danger that's in the area. But for now, it seems like they are very relaxed, all spread out, and now just moving slightly further away into the thickets. And they're staying all very close together, typical with impalas, with safety in numbers. But yes, talking about tawny animals, as you know, today, or 3 days, it's been Lion Fest. And tonight, straight after our sunset safari at 7 o'clock p.m. Central African time, I will be hosting an Ask Me Anything all about lions. So please, let's go over to Chums.
Well, we have managed to find ourselves a scaly feathered... Oh, my. Huh. That is a scaly feathered finch that had been sat there for probably 5 minutes. Let's go forward and see if we can see it again. That is the live game, I'm afraid. These little birdies don't like to sit for too long, and as soon as they hear that they're on TV, off they go. There he is. He's on the ground again, but there's... You see straight in front of us there, Johan? Right and dead straight ahead in that open area. An astounding shot into the light of a scaly feathered finch. The best we can do, I'm afraid, with the current light conditions. It amazes me how frequently the animals and birds here seem to want to be that side of the light. It always seems to be in the wrong place. The light, that is. Anyway, there is a very cute little scaly feathered finch. Thank you, Nina. I have enjoyed the birding I've been doing with you so far, mainly because many of these birds I have never put on camera before or spoken about with you. The scaly feathered finch is one of them. I first saw one of these in Namibia when I was on a tour there, and I immediately fell in love with them because they are just very cute. They're the quintessential happy finch-like bird. I don't know if it's happy. It might be depressed. It might be an incredibly depressed scaly feathered finch, but it looks like a happy, joyful little bird. Not much else going around here. We've come around these sort of obsidian kopjes with rich black rock, but other than the scaly feathered finch, not much. Let's just drift around the corner because nobody else has got anything, and so just drift around the corner with me and let's see what's there. There's a little shepherd's tree, and I wonder if there won't be something in the shade there, and we might be able to show you some of this very black rock. It is warming up nicely now. I will turn the heater off in the car so that Johan can no longer feel jealous. It actually doesn't make much difference in the morning, Johan, I promise. Let's just have a quick look at this black rock. You can see what I'm talking about here. There we go. That's the black rock that I've been talking about. And it's all over the place in this very small patch. Okay, I'm going to carry on doing a little bit of birding around here. You're going to go over to Tristan, who has managed to find you a dwarf mongoose, and I'm going to challenge him to give you a fact about them that nobody's ever heard before.
On our way from that little watering hole, after our little bit of birding we did, we spotted a few dwarf mongoose. Actually, more than a few. There were plenty of them scattered around out foraging. Yeah, it's tough to keep one on camera for too long. You can see they are very busy little animals. Let's hope one or two of them decide to play ball. Oof, I'm going to need a couple of seconds to think about that. I don't know if I can give a fact that nobody's ever given, a fact that no one's ever given before, but I can give a little interesting observation of my own. I have said before that wild dogs are without a doubt my favorite animals, and I found a very interesting little connection between wild dogs and dwarf mongoose in that they are both pack animals, and they rely quite heavily on their group structure and how they get out and they hunt. So I don't know if I've got any facts that haven't been given before. I'm not too sure how many facts have been given, but that's just something I find super interesting about dwarf mongoose, is how they work together and how successful they actually are. They're out there foraging, hunting little insects. Another little observation for me personally is I think that they remind me of like tiny little bears. They have that sort of look, in my opinion. So unfortunately, not too many facts that nobody's heard before, but definitely some observations. I'm not too sure how many observations like that people have heard. We're starting to see a few more of them giving us quite a bit of attention, facing towards us. Also definitely seems to be enjoying the sun. Oh, wild things, yeah, they are super adorable, very, very cute. Would be nice if we could get any closer to them, but they like to keep their distance. But yeah, super, super cute little animals. Ah, there you go, looks like a few of them have shot down into that termite mound. That is also quite an interesting little trick with these particular animals, is that they will go and they'll use already existing structures like these termite mounds. They'll turn those into their dens or into their little home sites. Very similar again to wild dogs, who will obviously dig out termite mounds when they are looking to give birth to puppies. They'll dig out those termite mounds and use those as den sites, as well as hyenas, using them as their den sites. A couple of other animals do as well. Warthogs, as an example, will often use termite mounds to make their burrows in there, just because there's such a big already existing structure. Those termites are very industrious as well, much like that sunbird we were talking about. They've built these massive big tunnel networks under the surface, so it's quite easy for other animals to come in and just dig those out and create themselves a nice big open space. And in the case of animals like hyenas and wild dogs, a nice big structure for protecting their youngsters against any potential threats. Oh, it really is nice. A few of them still out and about, giving us a bit of a show.
Chatting around a fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of WildEarth's Fireside Chats.
Talking about leopard, we did see tracks earlier of what we suspect, or I'm near certain it's that of the pixie pan female. And we didn't follow it for too long. Morris is there with some of the eco training staff who's trying to find that leopard. So hopefully they can locate it on foot and then perhaps set something up for us in the afternoon. That will be great. I think this afternoon I'm going to plan something different. Change tactics. We need to regain the initiative. Effective use of resources. That's the first thing I'm going to do. That means me and BK out and about.
Alright, well we've got an enormous herd of elephants coming through here at the position where we're nice on such a mission, because there is a big male in must that's busy following this herd. It's in the nice, we can at least view this herd coming through. Here's an ink. Let's stop here. What do you think, Chad? Alright, we're just going to stop right here and give them some space because they're on a mission. I don't think. I do apologize, a little bit of breakup in picture, but it's all good. I'm sure now it's all 100%. And you can see they're on a mission. And there's still even more further behind. You can just barely see the others, but it's quite a large herd, maybe 20, 30 of them coming through here. And I said, being followed by a big elephant bull that's in a must. And he's right at the back. We maybe get to see him very soon. There he is. There he is. Doo-doom, doo-doom, doo-doom. So he's coming this side. But we're just going to keep it up. Distance for now. You can see him up there in the top area. On the rise. And then you've got this big guy that's just coming through. And sometimes the females do get a little bit agitated with these males when they do approach the herd and when they're in must, because a little bit of aggression, and they tend to try and veer away from them. But he's coming straight down. It might be the same one that Mr. Riddle had earlier. Hello, girl. Yes, we're keeping our distance. We're watching you from afar. It's beautiful. I think he's changed course for that other herd. I think the rest are going a bit further north. But we'll see. We'll try and follow here. Of course, a herd like this, now if you're thinking where to go and beautiful. Oh, look at the little one. He's actually trying to catch up there. I was picking up on a female, usually the matriarch, an old female, the one that's got the most experience. Oh, yeah, he's coming down. He's coming down. He's coming down with purpose. You'll see him. He'll be on screen very shortly. He's just still in some thickets, but you can see they are not too happy with him following them. And there he comes. So maybe there might be a female that's in heat, and that's why he's on their trail. Yeah, he's such a beautiful male. See those temporal glands leading quite a bit. Always showing some males are in full must, and then I can't see from now, the sun is not the greatest, but behind in his back legs is very wet as well from all the urine that's dribbling out of the sheath. I'm just going to give him a bit of space here. But they are going a little bit further away. Alright, I think let's follow a little bit behind, but they have moved further. How nice is that? Beautiful. As I said, and there's about, I'd say about 20, maybe even 30 members in this herd. That's a big herd. Oh. Alright, let's head over to Tristan.
We are still just on a bit of a bumble around. We've left that watering hole, wasn't too much else going on. The hippos got a bit camera shy, I think they kept their heads underwater. They didn't pop back up. But yeah, we're just looking to slowly start making our way back towards the camp and hopefully find some signs for things in the afternoon, coming towards the end of the morning. So now the best idea I would say is to start trying to prep for the afternoon, try to find a nice base point. Yeah, anything like tracks to come and follow up on the afternoon, anything along those lines. But we're just slowly making our way around. We don't want to rush anywhere. We want to take it nice and slow, make sure you don't miss out on anything.
Hi, my name is Claire. WildEarth has been part of this home for many years as it connects us to the bush and the culture that we love and miss so much. I became an explorer so that other people around the world can get to experience the African bush in this unique way as well. I am beyond excited that I was drawn to win the prize at Ambakala Game Reserve for 3 nights. It is truly a dream come true.
Sign up today and you could be the one experiencing it for yourself.
Run away from us if we parked any closer. Somebody drove past us, gave us a strange look, and then drove right up to them and stopped next to them, and they have not run away. So now I understand the strange look we got. Anyway, there it is. We've got a lovely herd of Birchall's or plain zebra. Now, what is quite interesting about this sighting, I think, is that you can tell the different groupings here are different kinship groups made up of a stallion, his ladies and their babies, and 1 or 2 groups of bachelors. And that's one of them. And if you go off towards the left, there, Johan, you can see the next one, and then another little group there on the side of the road, and another group further to the left of that. So 4 or 5 kinship groups. And so those big herds of zebra that you'll see hurtling across the plains of East Africa, they are all made up of these kinship groups. I'm just going to sneak a little bit forward now so that we can have a better view of these zebras. The light has got very flat, which is what happens when it gets to this time of the day. And so the colours all look a little bit washed out. And that's the same everywhere, except, interestingly, the Mara. I don't know why. It's possibly because it's closer to the equator, but East Africa tends to have good colours regardless of the time of day. No, they are very, very not nervous. Let me get out of the way. They are very not nervous zebras, these ones. They are very happy to be in view. Oh, Mindy, I mean, in the absence of a better joke, I'll use yours. Oh, how dazzling, you say. Yes, quite. This horse is, at least zebra, is snorting, blowing her nose. She's almost melanistic. Her stripes are so thick. That's quite interesting, actually, how dark she is. Now, I wonder if I'm able to show you what I meant yesterday when I said that you can tell a stallion from a mare from the bowing of the back. And naturally, this entire herd is going the other way around us now. So, yeah, let's look at those ones. I would have said that that was a stallion, but I could be wrong. Yeah, big, fat, thick neck. But until you can see behind the tail, it's nigh on impossible to tell. Yeah, you see, the one on the middle one there, I would have said was a stallion as well, but isn't. I can see behind her tail, definitely a mare. The one on the right is a stallion, I can tell you that, by consulting the obvious between the back leggies. And then, as a final amazing sighting, Johan, we're going to swing gently to the right and observe this giraffe as it emerges from the Dicrostachus sea. There it is. And that is going to be our final sighting here for the sunrise safari. Elaine, you say today's drive was relaxing and that you were grateful for that. Well, Elaine, I'm glad that you're grateful for that. I hope that most of our drives are relatively relaxing. I hope that you don't ever leave our drives feeling angst-ridden, full of adrenaline and in need of a lie-down. I mean, unless we've had a lot of wild dog sightings, for example. But the general aim is to make you feel connected with nature and therefore at peace within yourself. If you find yourself leaving the drives feeling more tense than you did when you started, then we are doing something wrong and you should let us know immediately. There are definitely some people who've left these drives feeling tenser because they have disagreed with something or other. But mostly, I think, people find them fairly relaxing. I do know what you mean, Elaine. It has been a relaxing morning. So relaxing that zebra's gone to sleep. Or is going to sleep. Very nice of the giraffe to come up. Johanna, we're going to do one of these endings where you end on my face. Shall we see if we can do it? We'll try and do it so that it's not awkward. And so I'll try and finish speaking exactly on one. Otherwise you get this strange sort of awkward stare into the lens. So I'm going to wait for Jordan to count to 10. Jordan is directing the show today. and then I'm going to say goodbyes and thank yous, and then that'll be the end. Thank you everybody for watching today. It's been wonderful having you with us. We'll see you this afternoon at 2:30. Bye-bye.